Right, left, right, left, right, left.
Go!
Okay.
I don't know why I yelled it. I'm sorry.
But you never need to apologize. As long as you make the work easier for me, then I don't care.
Sweet.
I thought you said weed. I'm like, I don't have that.
As far as you know.
I don't know what the hell you're trying to insinuate. Just because it's legal where I'm at doesn't mean I smoke it.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Have I been curious? Sure. Have I been offered? Plenty of times. I just never tried it because a lot of times it smells like skunk. It could be because people buy into cheap shit. I mean, like honestly, could be it. One day. I mean, I honestly don't see anything terrible with it as long as you don't do it all the time, especially when it's something important. Your downtime, you're chilling, you're watching I don't know, a weird ass movie. Okay. Why am I talking about drugs? I'm sure YouTube's gonna be really happy about that.
Demonetized.
No, it's like I'm making enough money as it is. YouTube, just hey, screw that little guy right there. Let's play. Whoa. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. You all may call me Pharaoh, and I am joined with
Skinny Mini.
And welcome back to Let's Play the Great Ace Attorney Adventures.
Woohoo!
Last time we left off, we heard what Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First and Mr. Beppo had to say, and they're just kind of inconsistent. And the big revelation now is that there was a third person inside the omnibus, apparently some young urchin that Mr. McGill had mentioned, and he just wanted to save her from all the BS that's happening in this trial. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, I don't know what's going on, but we gotta figure it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and save my game because, I'm great with that. What is up with us playing these in a month intervals?
I know. Why is that?
I just looked at the date. I'm like, huh.
What's wrong with us?
Life, it's all we can do. All right, but now we are here. It's February 18th, inside the Old Bailey.
Woo.
What on earth just happened in there?
Narahora-san, I've managed to find out what happened.
Mrs. Sato.
I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke.
A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use.
They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long.
But who would have done something like that?
The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently.
Flee the courtroom? Why?
Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear.
A young girl? Then, could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was just talking about?
My thoughts exactly.
So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become Mr. McGilded, actually? There's so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here.
Uh-oh.
I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechambers to answer questions. Along with the young girl.
Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself?
There's another matter that's troubling me.
What's that?
Ugh. The 20 pence.
Oh,
Oh my god. I'm sorry if you hear that.
no, it's okay.
The giant truck over there. Dude. Ugh.
According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly.
But now it seems that there was in fact 5 passengers.
which means the figures don't seem to add up again.
She's right. That is strange. Counsel, go ahead, you do it.
Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed to the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes.
Oh, thank you, officer. We'll be in straight away.
Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial.
We'll know soon enough, Mr. Sato.
Yes.
I'm scary. Okay, I know what time it is, Bob. Okay, courtroom.
You was 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, there's a young girl next to Mr. McGilded. Look. She must have been the one who had caused the disturbance before.
Oh, hello? There we go. I did the compressed air on my controller, so hopefully it works.
Hopefully.
Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now then, Lord Van Zeeks.
My lord.
I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled proceedings earlier.
It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade of the sort typically employed by the army.
Good gracious, the army? What in the devil's name?
It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gathering, but she was caught, and now occupies the stand.
Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior?
If I may, my lord.
Yes, Mr. McGilded.
I think perhaps I ought to explain here. Why is it that when this wee lass was here in the first place, and why she tried to boat like that? It's all tied up with the events of that night, so it is.
Very well, Mr. McGilded. Give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in this case.
Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. It's okay. You and your ancestor get through it just fine.
Yee.
Albeit with some help, but, it's okay. Alright, let's hear what Mr. McGill has to say about the young girl. The night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me in a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. I will admit, I do not like my own voice for McGilded. My accent's all over the place. I guess he is supposed to be Scottish, but God help me, I can't do accents too well, so.
Hey, I mean, it's better than nothing. I can't do a Scottish accent to save my life.
I mean, maybe one day I'll get there, but you know what? We're having fun. If somebody wants to poke fun, then okay.
You're not paying me, so I don't care. That's the thing. Is like if people don't. I've learned over the years, if people don't like your voice, they're just not gonna like it, and that's totally fine.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and like I would imagine more so coming from you, considering you're a professional. Like even someone with me, like when people get pissed off, I'm like, what balls you guys have to get on my ass for me providing free content? And I'm just enjoying myself. It's like, damn, okay. But then I also realized something. It's the internet, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, you know, I think we've both been doing this for super long that we just know what to expect from now on. But
Yeah.
sometimes
It's
you
just
get those funny comments. It's like, what the freaking hell was that, you know?
Yep.
But,
That's why they say don't read the comments.
oh, yeah, very true. I mean, some are very nice, and most are. Some are like, they hurt my head, but that's okay. Oh, where the hell were we? Oh, ellipses on the judge.
Oh, it's like, I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather, on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus. Is that correct?
It is exactly as the defense counsel said. This last was the 5th passenger, my lord.
Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel?
Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. That's for that animation of him looking just beyond is like, what the hell?
He's like, huh?
Sometimes I do that when I'm working. It's like I'm reading something. I'm like, what the hell were they saying? Anyway, so when it comes to certain cross-examinations, and this is true throughout the entirety of the Ace Attorney series, sometimes you might be a little stumped on what you should exactly press on. In some instances, it's best to go through all of them. And this is one of those circumstances where you actually want to go through each testimony because all of them seem very important to what's going on here. So we'll just go down the line.
Hold it! Okay.
And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There was not. The cabin was empty and there was no one on the roof deck either.
You were the first passenger, as it were, I see.
Aye, and that's why I took the back side as I did. That's the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? Aye, by all means. 'Tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman was stabbed and was sitting. Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well. Okay. Next, by God! You heard a loud thud. A loud thud, you said? In the screen? Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So, you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor, having being stabbed? Well, now, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fella on the floor. You didn't see anyone. But at the same moment, you did hear a scream.
From the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume.
No, not above me, no, my lord. 'Twas from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before me eyes. That's when the fella collapsed on the floor, alright? And he sat him up on a seat across from him, too. Let's press on that. You sat him up? The victim, you mean? That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said. I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you? It's common courtesy, so it is. I find it a little hard to believe. The Lord Van Zeeks, why would that be? You wake to find a man laying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is.
Oh, shoot!
He got your ass, motherfucker! God, I don't know what the hell it is about those damn air horns. I just despise. I don't know if it's overused or what, but it's like use something else. Yeah, use like a vuvuzela or something. But like the damn air horn.
I don't know why it makes me laugh so much. Oh.
You know, if I ever do stream more often again, I'm probably gonna use it as a sound bit just to annoy people. Well, now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business.
Sir? Sorry, I'm squeaking on my bed. I don't have a good setup yet, y'all. I need trying to save up to buy a house. So, hopefully I can make that serious YouTube money.
Guys, she needs money.
I need money. I want to actually start streaming more, but, you know.
Do it!
Okay, alright. I'll do it. I'll probably stream tomorrow. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest.
Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even see me dead. So I do try, where all possible, to avoid getting myself in a large tangle with trouble. Are you suggesting you were just going to leave the man there? Heavens alive, no, I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only I had a mind to find out the whys and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores? Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? Well, yeah. The scream he says he heard at the time as the thought of the victim collapsing. I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find?
Hold it!
What did you find? I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir. No, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well, now, 'tis a queer thing. The wee scream I heard as I woke up, it came from, and if you excuse a vulgar expression, under my backside! Oh, man, don't worry, that happens to me every day. What?
Good gracious.
Under your backside? And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubbyhole there for storage.
I don't like the fact that she says Mr. Naruhodo. I think it's Naruhodo-san.
Yeah, but I would imagine they would have translated that. It's not such a far-fetched thing to translate in English. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Naruhodo-san, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember?
Yes, of course. The whole bus is submitted as evidence.
This will be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside.
And that's where I found her. There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball. Oh, so it's press on this one. Last statement. You say she was hiding herself? Aye, that's right. It was hard to see in a dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, me heart's nearly stopped beating in me chest. Ugh, you're really overreacting this. Still in all, I pulled her out from the under there and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chinwag with her. The seat opposite? Ah, that's right. It's just next to the dead gentleman there.
You sat this young girl next to a corpse, sir?
Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream. A fella's voice this time. Presumably that scream of Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck that seats. Ah, right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly.
In other words, the previous witnesses did not, in fact, see you at all, Mr. McGillen. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was, in fact, this girl and the late Mr. Mason.
Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight.
It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused perhaps with this young girl.
After that, of course, with the scream of the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses.
Thank you, I've heard enough. The events as explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is the girl?
Her name is...
Oh. I don't know why I started talking, sorry.
No, you're good. Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, and her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. What?
This girl here? A petty thief? Order, order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question. Oh, ma'am?
Get down!
How dare you! What is the meaning of this? You're going on the naughty list.
I would have loved this beer was actually purple at this point.
That would have been so cute.
Huh?
Ah! The girl, she's gone!
Open your eyes!
Oh, she's over here.
I'm over here.
Good gracious, how?
What was the point in that little sidestep?
I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. Steady little dipper, you say, slipped up and got caught on the job. She's got herself back to a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on, that's what's in your heads, ain't it?
No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cat. Ow.
Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what is I do with these fingers. I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do.
Let me guess. You don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs?
Oh, this? Yeah, this is in a bag I lifted the other day. Down where they keep the four-wheel drags. It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink best.
Do not wave that thing in my direction again.
So, you admit that you are riding the omnibus on the night in question. Tis alright, lass. You can tell him the truth now.
Alright, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said.
Okay, good, so he is Irish.
I just thought he was Scottish.
I always get the confused and I should know better.
I apologize to everybody out there. I'm still gonna do my stupid ass accent.
The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, into a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question.
Alright, if I have to.
Alright. New testimony, this time about what the girl saw.
So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I tell you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. And And after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped me out my skin, I did. And the scream just came out. It's because of that old swell. Because of that, the swell found me. He did help me get away, mind.
Yes, he let you go.
I fail to understand why you would let this street urchin go, Mr. McGilded.
Ah, 'tis simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? As I'm sure I said before, sir. I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself. Oh, that's the judge, sorry.
Oh, I think a demonstration is called for.
This is where I sat that night.
Oh, and the cubbyhole which you have spoken is underneath this seat, I presume?
Look at that jangle of the handle.
That's so pretty.
Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature.
Aye, but of course the wee lass was stuck in there. Because I parked myself on the seat on the duration.
No!
So, you see, that's why I let the lass bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd just automatically assume that she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself with a young life like her ruined all the time. I knew she was innocent.
Even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question.
Not at all, my lord, not at all. Huh? I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So, I thought it was worth taking a punt from my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass.
My goodness. What a perfect gentleman.
My lord, this fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I am ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir. We win!
Woo!
Wait, is that all 6?
Nope.
Nope, just her.
With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives early at the truth every time.
We win!
Yay! Well, that was quick.
Oh yeah, we definitely won. The Flame's like, ha!
Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual in their learning to a verdict of not guilty?
Narahoro-san, this... Well, it must mean
It must mean what?
that we're victorious.
We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
Uh-oh.
Okay,
That's-
calm
Hello, sailor.
calm your ass down, alright? I'm sure you have very nice calves you want to show off to people. I got some nice calves too, but it's because I gotta lift a lot. But I'm just saying, man, like, calm down. You don't see my ass doing something like that.
Sir.
If
Sir.
if the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourtesy. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Huh? Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight to his true nature. What do you mean his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report.
Good lord!
The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGilden's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. What? Oh no.
Wait, didn't we examine that?
I don't remember.
Order, order! How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been effected, Counsel?
Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Nipponese friend. Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find in the condition of the underseat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead. You tell the court now, fella. How this is all an elaborate excuse by a desperate Lord Van Zeeks.
Well, Counsel, do you have something to say on this matter?
How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? So, this is also a rare thing here, but I believe you can choose anything. Because I believe you're correct. I think we did look in there. And I believe it was full. There's things in there. But here's a reasoning as to why I would say it doesn't matter what we choose here. It's not required that we looked in there for any reason beforehand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's very possible that there's various gamers out there that either can't remember if they looked in there or they really didn't look. Or they could just lie. But let's go. Now, I'm taking your word for this because I personally can't remember. But you said that it wasn't empty, right?
Right.
All right. So we'll go ahead and click that. I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my case as counsel for the defense. But as far as I remember, at least, when I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there was a number of articles inside it, yes.
Are you sure, Counsel?
Ah, be wise. What are you saying now, you daft dog? I thought you were on my side here.
Oh.
Even Van Zeeks was taken aback. He's like, oh, damn, okay.
That's new. Looking like a Oompa Loompa.
What game are you playing? The Great Ace Attorney.
It just came out this year, like, legally. I'm really excited.
Yay. Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position? As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Interesting. Just not altogether pleasing, fella. I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interest here, lad. Now then. A fella's memory is a curious thing and not altogether reliable. No. The court must consider the facts. That there cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interest now to admit that you might have been mistaken? Why? Why do I feel like something's not right here?
I should like the jury to weigh on this matter, I think.
Well, let me take a sip of my fireball. Their compartments designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. Against rules state the omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So, it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo wasn't that irresponsible. That money-lending fleece on a pig purse are lying! Well, damn.
Well.
Well! Oh, I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, a lot of them. What? Oh no. It's a trick! Of course it's a trick!
Quite so. I must concur here.
I wish they explained how the hell they get the fire into there.
Right? With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate.
Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Oh yeah, we're supposed to cross-examine her.
I just totally forgot.
Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please.
Yes, my lord. What the hell just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Okay. So, once again, just as we did before, it's another one of those instances where it's best to just go ahead and press all her statements, starting from the beginning.
Hold it! Okay.
So, you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run?
Well, yeah. I mean, what's the point of spending a Joey to make a few bob, eh? That's a rum idea, isn't it?
I don't know what the hell she just said. But anytime I hear the word Bob, actually never. I'm just not gonna make the joke. Never mind. I suppose she means there's no point spending money to make money. That actually makes sense.
Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief? Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants.
Well, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making it 20, to which the cabman testified. And one little scapegrace riding for free.
The red conch of a driver always goes for some grub before his last run, see? So that's when I slip into the carriage and get myself hidden under the seat. Nice and easy, right?
But your hiding place is a storage compartment, full of equipment of the coach. No?
Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much.
And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia.
Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you.
It seems we reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue.
Alright, next, he says a waste of time, and okay. Why is that? A waste of time? Why is that?
Well, most nights I'm on my own in the guard permit, at least some of the time. I beg your pardon, did you say gold permit? Oh, yeah, well that's what my kind call it. You say the omnibus, I suppose. The point is, any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while.
And that's when you came out of your hiding place and got away.
That's it. Only that night. This cove was sat on me from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck. Did you mean to tell us you were present in the carriage of the duration? You are under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin. Yeah. Right, mister?
Ah, to be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift a cushion you've been sat on and find a child now, do you? So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. Now, I'm sure I mentioned this before, but the music here always reminds me of Undertale for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Okay, let's press on, why it was so dark in there. So, you couldn't see out into the cabin at all?
Not a joke. Most days I push the cushion up with my head and have a look out the crack. But then I have a butcher's hat who I go and fiddle.
Well, I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher.
I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other one, see? So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite. But for some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head.
And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out. I see.
Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like I'm being thrown in the clink. It's the only place to hide in them carriages, so it's Hobson's choice.
Why doesn't she just sit to picking people's pockets in the open then? I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor.
So anyways, I was a bit scared, but I had to just stick it out there under there. Nothing else for it.
So, before we continue on, what was actually interesting, what happened in that little testimony, she mentioned that people usually don't sit on that seat because it's not as comfortable as the others. But, isn't that vice versa to what Mr. McGill had said? Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure he said he sits there because it's the most comfortable one. But you know what? We'll just, that's me kind of ranting because I had something I noticed. Anyway, let's continue with pressing.
Alrighty.
When you say a loud bang, do you mean a noise of someone falling onto the floor?
Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump.
And you let out a scream, involuntarily?
That's right. And then I felt the cushion over me head get lighter all of a sudden.
Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes. Excuse me. Or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim. Could it not?
Well, girl, did you see what happened at that crucial moment? Yeah, I saw it.
Ah!
I pushed up the cushion and had a quick butcher's while I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke when what had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGilda's account, of course. But then, the fella suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I sunk back down, but it was too late by then. I should have never risked looking.
And finally, it's because of that they found me. But he helped me get away. And when Mr. McGilda discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place?
Sorry.
You're good.
I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on the seat and all.
Next to the victim, Mr. Mason?
Yeah. The bloke got a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit and ended up falling onto me. Ugh, how awful. Both me and hands got covered in blood. It made me feel sick as a dog.
Both her hands were covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. Well, after that, I believe you talked to Mr. McGilder for a while. Is that correct?
He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to and all that. Then I heard something from up above. Someone screamed.
Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume.
Well, I didn't want no one else seeing my face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawing up smartfish, and this here Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent.
For one brief shining moment, yes.
It's clear that they are all still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we would clinch the verdict we want.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I just have this weird feeling. Something's bothering me. But I just can't put my finger on it. Now, I know we come across that word before, and I know it's how you pronounce it. I just don't trust my mouth.
No, I totally get it.
So...
I totally get it.
What the hell? You know what? Let's go back to that third testimony. This is the one that I have a weird feeling about, because this is where she said like the seat was not as comfy, and then I thought he said different. So after we press everything, let's press on this one again and see if something happens.
Wait, which one?
The third one.
I'll tell you, you can't see a blind thing?
Yes.
Okay. Press on it.
Yeah. How the hell do you fast forward? I forgot.
I think it's B.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh.
Aha! Oh, I missed his voice. Hello! Hello! Alright, so I'm assuming he is acting when she said, "I ain't too happy in small dark places" and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Proceed!
Excuse me!
Excuse me! Is something wrong, Mr. McGilder? Should I don't know if I want to switch my voice over to that. It's gonna hurt my throat.
Yeah, don't do it if it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Counsel? I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no. 'Twas not important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass, is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so it was. I see. Yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now.
Same.
Aye, and I don't know about yourself, but I find that the darkness seems to make anything you hear seem that much louder as well.
Yeah. I suppose it does. Maybe.
Miss Lestrade, did you hear something at night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps?
No, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring.
Bejabbers, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp.
What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a new vital clue.
Yeah. What should we make of that last statement of hers? I mean, we really do need something else to go by here, so... yeah, let's just say it's profoundly important. My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important.
Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing.
Yeah, which is a profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it.
Oh, God. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern mind, Counsel. Nevertheless, Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me.
That's right, insult the judge. Always a good move.
I was straining my ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring.
Interesting. Let's press on that.
Hold it!
So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time? Since the moment that you hid yourself?
Not exactly, no.
Wait, sorry?
Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and have witches to see what was what. But then, when I saw this swell getting on, I got me head down so he didn't notice me.
And Mr. McGillis sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct?
Yeah! Would you Adam and Eve it then? What a mug. So then, all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out as soon as I heard him leave, see? But would he? Not likely. Even though he stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving his pigs to market. Snoring like an old dog he was.
Jesus, what did you just say?
What?
Are there any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? You know...
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it just doesn't add up, right?
Yeah.
Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts.
At odds? Are you sure, man?
Absolutely. And don't call me Shirley. Oh, I jacked up the joke. I still kind of miss Leslie Nelson. Like, he... I can only, like... I always imagine, like, if he was still around, if John Candy was still around, if Chris Farley was still around, I can only imagine what they would have done with comedies. But...
Yeah. Man.
Life. It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. Now, hold on really quick. Now, I keep saying learned, but is this supposed to be learned?
Learned?
Yeah, I could have sort of heard people use it as two syllables when it comes to, like, when they do something like this, but I don't know if one's more correct than the other. I'm just curious.
I think it's learned, yeah.
Learned? Okay. So, Van Six realized it too.
Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least.
Yes, my lord.
I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court.
Well, according to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGillis snoring. But think, Miss Ryunosuke, think! A double slap. It's very effective. There's something else that she should have heard. But what was it, ladies and gentlemen? What the hell was it?
What was it?
Now, I would continue for just a few more minutes, but I need to take my dog out. So, in the next episode, we'll figure out what the hell's going on and just keep going with this. Whew. So, as usual, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all next time. I'm gonna keep forgetting to do that. We'll see you all next time for Let's Play The Great Ace Attorney Adventures.
Woo!
Love you all so much, and have a great day.
Bye-bye.